He was humiliated in a coffee shop, denied service because of his red MAGA hat, while the crowd gleefully watched the spectacle unfold. The barista, openly disdainful, shouted accusations, oblivious to the man's true identity. But true power often operates in silence, and 2 days later, they all learned the truth, which forever changed their understanding of justice. What happened next shocked even the most hardened skeptics. Early morning. The city is waking up, and the coffee shop on the corner is already bustling with customers. The spacious venue, with its high ceilings, wooden furniture, and massive windows, is filled with the rich aroma of freshly brewed coffee. On the counter, decorative signage boasts about signature drinks and proudly proclaims, "Every customer matters." Jonathan Rivers walks in, a man in his 50s, tall, broad-shouldered, exuding a quiet charisma that commands attention. His impeccably tailored dark gray suit fits him perfectly, and in one hand, he carries a leather briefcase. Completing the picture is a red cap with the words MAGA stitched across the front. He looks relaxed, though his sharp blue eyes scan the room with quiet focus. Jonathan approaches the counter, where Michael, a young barista around 25, is stationed. Michael's hair is dyed a vibrant pink, styled into a bold mohawk. He wears a small nose ring and a t-shirt bearing the slogan, "Equality for All," pinned with a tiny badge. Michael's demeanor shifts as he notices Jonathan's hat. His expression hardens. "Good morning. I'll have a latte with 2 sugars, Jonathan says calmly, holding out his card to pay. Michael raises a hand, signaling for him to stop. "Sorry, but we don't serve MAGA supporters here," he declares loudly enough for the other patrons to hear. "Excuse me, what did you just say?" Jonathan asks, his voice measured, but tinged with curiosity. "I said we don't serve coffee to people who support hate and discrimination," Michael replies with conviction, his gaze fixed on the red cap. The coffee shop falls silent. Customers glance at one another, murmuring. Some pull out their phones to record. Jonathan pauses, his calm expression unshaken. "Are you sure you understand what you're doing?" Michael smirks. "More than sure. We don't want people like you or your views in our space. Go find another Starbucks." Jonathan nods slowly, stepping back as his eyes sweep the room. His face remains composed, but a flicker of something sharp glimmers in his gaze. Turning, he walks toward the door, ignoring the faint sounds of stifled laughter from a few patrons. "Let's see how this plays out," he thinks as he exits the coffee shop, the red cap still firmly in hand. By midday, a video of Michael loudly refusing to serve a man in a MAGA hat starts gaining traction on social media. Filmed from multiple angles, it spreads quickly and is accompanied by supportive comments. "Way to go, Michael! No coffee for racists!" "Why is anyone even wearing those ridiculous hats anymore? MAGA doesn't belong in our coffee shops." Encouraged by the support, Michael posts the video on his personal page with the caption, "Let's make coffee shops safe again." However, the comments section soon turns contentious, as initial support is replaced by a wave of outrage. "Who are you to decide who gets coffee? Discrimination is still discrimination, Michael. This goes against Starbucks policy." The video eventually makes its way to Jonathan Rivers, who is sitting in his office at the time. His spacious workspace, with a panoramic view of the city, is tastefully decorated. A massive wooden desk holds neatly organized folders, a cup of coffee, and a laptop. The walls are adorned with company awards. Jonathan watches the video with a faint smile. He doesn't just see an attack on himself. He sees a massive PR opportunity. "Let's see how you handle this, my dear barista," he murmurs, leaning back in his chair. Picking up his phone, he calls his assistant, a sharp-dressed young man with a professional demeanor. "Organize an inspection of the coffee shop on the corner," Jonathan instructs, "and prepare the necessary documents. I'll visit in 2 days. 2 days later, morning. The coffee shop is bustling once again, but the atmosphere has changed. Several patrons wearing MAGA hats sit at the tables, quietly chatting. They've clearly come to show solidarity with their brother in beliefs. Behind the counter, Michael casts irritated glances at them. The door opens, and Jonathan steps inside. His outfit is less formal today, a light shirt, dark jeans, and of course, the red MAGA hat. "Oh, it's you again," Michael says, spotting him. "I thought we already settled this." Jonathan approaches the counter, placing a large envelope on it. "I'm sure we did, but maybe you should take a look at this," Jonathan says calmly. Michael hesitates, then opens the envelope. His face pales as he pulls out the documents and reads the bold title. "Order for internal audit of coffee shop." What does this mean?" Michael stammers. "It means we'll now see how well your establishment meets our standards," Jonathan replies evenly, removing his hat and offering a small polite smile. Within minutes, everyone in the coffee shop is aware of the situation. Jonathan stands in the center, addressing the room. "My name is Jonathan Rivers. I'm the CEO of Starbucks, and I am deeply disappointed by what I've seen here." Michael is frozen in shock, his words failing him. He can barely comprehend that the man he had humiliated so publicly is his superior. This has to be a joke," he says, his voice faltering. "I wish it were," Jonathan responds, "but your actions leave no room for humor." The gathered patrons erupt into applause. Some shout words of support, while others cheer loudly. Michael remains motionless, overwhelmed by the consequences of his actions. The following day, a press conference is held at the coffee shop. Journalists and company employees gather to hear an official statement regarding the incident. Michael is forced to stand in front of the cameras and deliver an apology. His voice is steady, but his expression is marked by shame. "I acknowledge that I made a mistake. My actions were inappropriate and did not align with the values of the company." After Michael steps aside, Jonathan takes the stage, his tone firm yet composed. "Starbucks has always been a place for everyone. We do not tolerate discrimination of any kind." The press and employees applaud as Jonathan concludes. Michael, visibly defeated, leaves the coffee shop with his head hung low, avoiding the cameras. The coffee shop closes for a week for reorganization. During this time, Jonathan launches a new company campaign with the slogan, "Coffee for everyone, no exceptions." The initiative is met with overwhelming public support, revitalizing the brand's image. Sales surge as the campaign resonates with customers worldwide. In his office, Jonathan sits at his desk, sipping his morning latte. Beside the company's awards on the wall hangs a red MAGA hat in a frame, a symbol of the lesson learned and a reminder of the company's principles. "Now they know we're not just about coffee, we're about values," Jonathan says to himself with a faint smile, taking another sip of his drink.